right. Hello, everyone, and welcome. I'm Samantha Weisbach. I'm the owner and general manager here at Dancewear Center, and I'm joined today by a special guest. I'm going to allow them to introduce themselves.
Hello, everyone. My name is Brittany Parker. My pronouns are she, her, and I'm just so excited to join Samantha today and chat about dance.
I know. Yay. Cool. Well, that is why we're here. Brittany's one of our new ambassadors. We're really excited to have her. And so we're gonna get started by chatting a little bit about your dance story. So can you tell us how did we get here?
Gosh, there's so many twists and turns, but the short story is my mom is also a professional dancer, so I just kind of started into dance and gymnastics when I was like 2 or 3. I think we did like the mommy and me classes. I don't really recall. I don't have the memories of my first dance and gymnastics classes, but I did dance and gymnastics both until I was like 8, and then that time comes when you're like kind of really training in both things a little bit harder, and I picked gymnastics because I decided dance was my mom's thing. And so then I was a competitive gymnast for a few years, and then my family moved to, I'm originally from Chicago. That's where I started dancing, and that's where I mostly trained in jazz, ballet, tap. In Florida, it was way more ballet focused, and then the gymnastics kind of came in. But once I moved to Idaho in 8th grade, there wasn't really a gymnastics future for me. Once you get to like optionals, it's like, do you want to homeschool or do you want to like, not do competitive gymnastics as much anymore? And so I decided I was going to do competitive cheerleading instead, and that was one of the best decisions of my life. It really combined like my dance training, my gymnastics training. And yeah, I really enjoyed competing in cheerleading all throughout high school. And then dance came back into the picture when I was around 15. One of my best friends, who I was a cheerleader with, just after practice one day told me that they were going to a hip hop class. And we lived in a very small town in Idaho, Moscow, Idaho, and there was not really a lot of dance hip hop classes that I knew about there. And I was like, where are you going? I think I need to go with you and make sure that wherever you're going is okay. Like, I don't know. And I ended up going to this hip hop class with her and fell in love with it. And our teacher ended up getting us like week-long scholarships at Millennium Dance Complex in LA. And this was in like 2009, maybe 2010. So just kind of like before social media, before kind of the internet had that like hype, I think, going on with Millennium. And wow, that week in LA changed my life. And I remember leaving just being like, well, okay, I guess it's gonna be dance for me. Like, it's just like, well, this is what I love, I guess. And after that, I started dual enrolling at University of Idaho for all of my dance training. So I would go to high school for a few hours, and then all of my electives were just through the university. So then I'd go take ballet, and then I'd go back to school, and then I'd go take hip hop, and then I'd go back to school. So by the time I got to college, I had taken most of the dance classes that I would have been taking as a dance major. So I was a cheerleader at U of I for a semester, and then I wanted to move to the closest, biggest city at 18 years old by myself, and that was Seattle. So that's what I did. I packed up my car and I moved to Seattle with someone I met at a Lady Gaga concert when I was 16. Decisions you make when you're 18 years old is what that is. And I started training at Westlake, and then I auditioned for LaFaux at Julia's on Broadway in like 2012. It was a few months after I moved to Seattle, and that's where I found kind of my first dance family. My best friends to this day, I met dancing at a drag show, and I ended up getting to start my career as a choreographer there. Helped produce a cabaret show there as well. So I did kind of like a 10 Julia's on Broadway with both LaFaux and Magnifique. Fell with some amazing Xavier Vandermeer with Third Shift Dance Company when I was 19, after like a 6-month stint in LA where I just went and trained. Wow, I did Third Shift from like 2013 to 2017. And then I started teaching at Westlake Dance Center, which I'm still at right now. I teach contemporary and lyrical. And then in 2019, I started my own dance company with just a group of my closest dance friends that we just wanted to dance outside of class. And I felt, and we felt kind of a hole in the Seattle dance community for dancers that are moms, dancers that have full-time jobs, dancers that don't really have the luxury of being able to make dance a full-time career, if that makes sense, while we are still so passionate about it. And so that's how Coalescence, my dance company, was kind of born. And we're about to start our 5th season. So that's kind of the shortest version possible of my dance journey. Yeah.
Amazing. Yeah, it's like it is many twists and turns, but it's very cool to
Yeah.
see how you ended up here. I love it. Oh, very cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, can you tell us a little bit about why you applied to be an ambassador?
Yeah, ambassadors for Dancewear Center. And I also just, especially you, Samantha and Emma, you guys are dancers and leaders in our community that I really respect. And I love what you guys stand for, and like how you run your business. And it's so community oriented, and something we talk about within Coalescence a lot. And one of my goals for Coalescence is to just find ways for us in this dance community to kind of get out of our isolated groups and our isolated, like even performances and stuff. And yeah, it's just a goal of mine to be more community oriented and to use Coalescence as a vehicle for that. And when I get to do something on my own dance wise these days, it's even more special to me. So this was also kind of just something I wanted to do for myself, to connect with the community more through Dancewear Center.
I love that. Yeah, it's so important. And I totally agree. I think it's hard if we don't make the effort because or not even make the effort, but just like carving out time
It can be
for
isolating.
yeah, totally. Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
it's tricky. So we're excited to have you. I'm really excited.
Thanks.
Okay, so we're here to talk about all things dance. Can you tell us what your favorite thing is about dance?
Oh my gosh.
I know.
Well, before half of my career became being a choreographer, when it was more performance focused, which I feel so lucky to be able to have had that kind of timeline for myself. Um, I'd say before the last few years, it would have just been that feeling of uniting with everyone on stage with choreography at the same time in front of an audience, the rush you feel, the connection, it's just something that dance really can only bring me, at least, and I think bring a lot of people. I'd say over the last few years, stepping into more of a leadership instructor role and as more of a choreographer right now in my career, just the excitement that I get when I just have all these talented dancers to create with. Like, it's a blank slate. It's like, it's just fun. My favorite part about dance is fun. And I think growing up, I think especially a lot of us dancers in the 90s and the 80s, and the dance culture was so different, not about fun all the time. I have so many dancers that come to my class that say, I haven't danced in 10 years. I haven't danced in this long, and I just kind of want to get back into it. And I'm like, great, we just like dancing here. You do not need to worry about having the highest leg. You do not need to worry about. So I think I'd say almost taking back the joy of dance that I think up until recently, the culture of dance didn't really it wasn't built into it in the first place. So yeah, maybe just bringing back the fun of why we do it.
I love that. Yeah. Yeah. So important. And then okay, so then we're gonna kind of take this to the flip side. What is maybe still is your biggest challenge within the sphere of dance?
Honestly, for I probably have like a broader answer and then a more specific answer. My more specific answer is injuries. I have scoliosis. I have just chronic ankle and foot issues that I have to have like surgeries on throughout my life. And there are things that I remember as a younger professional dancer when I was around like 19 to 22-ish. I was really self-conscious about my limitations with some of my injuries, especially, being a little bit competitive in that age of being a professional dancer, and just pushing yourself at that kind of peak moment. I think that I felt like I was at, and I kind of had a surgery fall right into that area. And yeah, I think just prolonged injuries. And it's nice being at a spot in my dance career where I'm like, you know what? I don't ever have to do a triple to the right on my terrible ankle ever again if I really don't want to. So yeah, I think my chronic injuries have been a really big downside to dance for me. And honestly, the years I lost of I do not regret my competitive gymnastics or competitive cheerleading journeys. They are loves of my life, but losing out on, I think, some amazing years of focused dance training. Yeah, there's always that I think that I would have liked to have more of, but I got a lifetime to make up for it. So yeah.
Yes, there's still time. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Um, okay, so then what would be your advice that you would give other dancers that have struggled or are continuing to struggle with the same challenges?
Especially, I mean, even within my own dance company, injuries, don't push through injuries because they will just keep coming up in the future. And 19-year-old Brittany was like, let's keep going. Don't push through injuries. Allow yourself the time to heal. It's really hard when you're so hungry and so just ready and not wanting to miss out on opportunities. But it was also, I remember after I had foot surgery when I was 19, I couldn't dance for 6 months. And I think that was the first time in my life that I never moved my body for like it was way more of a mental challenge to really figure out who am I without dance as a person. And I think young dancers that are coming into this as a hopeful profession really have moments where you're grounding yourself in other things that bring you value and self-worth other than who you are as a dancer and where you are in the professional dance sphere. That is because always at the end of the day, as long as you still want to dance for fun sometimes, I feel like you're on the right track when you're in the thick of it.
Yeah, that's really, really good advice. Yeah. 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 I remember, I think even for some of us during COVID, not being able to dance the way we used to dance, it was very eye opening and like, oh, I need to
Yeah.
develop some other, not even like
Yes.
hobbies, but some other things that I enjoy in my life because this is not going to
Yeah.
go well.
Yeah, I think all of us were twiddling our thumbs like, "Okay, what do we do now?"
Yeah.
Like, I dance as much as I can in my backyard. What do I do next?
Yeah, totally. Um,
Absolutely.
yeah, I love that. Cool. Well, okay. So last but not least, can you tell
Sorry,
us
you froze for a second.
what's or am I here?
Okay. No, I got you now. I got
Okay,
you back. You're
good.
still frozen, but oh no, I got you. I got you.
Okay, good. So last but not least, we want to know what is coming up for you in the near future as a teacher, as a company director, what I know you've got a lot coming down the pipeline, so tell us all about it.
Yeah, wow. Thank you for this opportunity too to just say all of this. But for me personally, I teach every Monday night at Westlake Dance Center. If you want to hang out with me like on a weekly basis to train, Monday nights are contemporary 1 at 7 and lyrical 2, 3 at 8. And it's a good time. It's such a great space to just come in and dance and not worry about who's the best in the room? How do I look doing this? I try and stress that that's just not what we're there for. So you can come dance with me on Monday nights. We have auditions for Coalescence Dance Company for season 5 coming up on February 4th at Dance Conservatory. You can go to our website, coalescencedance.com, to register for auditions. We are so excited. We also, Coalescence has our 2nd annual Coalescence Cabaret at Tractor Tavern on April 15th, and that's going to be a big fundraiser for our season. We have a dance film that's in post-production right now that we are working on a premiere date for, and we're really excited to start getting that into some dance film festivals. We are starting a Coalescence Chicago. One of our, my associate director is moving to Chicago, and I refuse to run this company without her. So we just are like, you know what? Let's go to Chicago. I'm originally from Chicago. That's where I started my dance career, and she is also from the Midwest area. So it's kind of a very full circle moment for me to be able to go back to where I started my dance career as a child and really dive into that. And we're also starting Coalescence in Motion, which is going to be a pre-professional training program that kind of is adjacent to our professional dance company. So you'll kind of be training side by side ish while also just working on the next step for those dancers. And I think that's it.
So that's it. Just a few
I'm
things.
excited. I don't sleep. It's fun.
Oh my God. I was like, where do you find the time?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
It's fun. But yeah, we've got some really fun stuff coming up. Yeah. I'm
cool.
just and I'm an ambassador for Dancewear
Yeah.
Center, which is top of the list. That's first up. So yeah, I'm really excited. It's a fun way to start the year.
Yeah, you've got a lot coming up. It's very exciting. Well, we look forward to seeing all these things kind of panning out in the coming months and the year. Thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you so much for having
Yeah,
me.
of course. And then for everybody out there watching, if you like this, go ahead and like and subscribe, and we will see you next time.
Bye.